This is Robbie. I'm Thomas.
I'm not speaking today. I'm a mime.
Yeah, I'm Penn. Would that make you Teller or is Penn the... Which one's the quiet one? Yeah, Penn's the talker.
Yeah.
You're Teller. We're gonna do this review where Robbie's the only one who's worn the shoe. As Penn and Teller, I'll be Penn, Robbie be Teller. Enjoy the review. I'm Thomas with Believe in the Run.
And it's Robbie with Believe in the Run.
And today, Robbie, what are we talking about?
The ASICS GEL-Cumulus 23.
Now, I didn't review this one, so I'm just gonna stand here and basically look pretty while Robbie tells us all about the shoe. How's that sound?
Sounds pretty good.
All right, let's go.
Sounds terrible.
Tell me, Robbie, tell me about the upper of this shoe.
We're already getting into the upper?
Are we not?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Robbie, tell me what you want to tell me about this shoe.
The ASICS GEL-Cumulus 23. It's their moderately priced, neutral daily trainer. A little bit less materials structure than the Gel Nimbus 20.
Are saying you're not going to get all that visible technology that you're used to getting in that ASICS shoe?
You still got some visible gel in here. You can see that. Let's talk about the upper.
All right, let's get into it.
So the upper is a one-piece engineered mesh upper. Pretty simple, nothing crazy there. I mean, it is comfortable like ASICS uppers are. No issues with the tongue. Well, it's not gusseted, which we all know. We want the gusseted tongue.
Gotta give the gusset.
But it is padded. It feels fine. Locks down nicely throughout the midfoot. Nothing.
You're putting me to sleep here, Robbie.
I don't know what you want me to tell you. It's an ASICS upper.
Are you telling me, is this shoe basically one of those, it's a running shoe, no frills, like...
I'm honestly, earlier when I was thinking about how we were gonna review this shoe, I was like, I don't know if we can get to 5 minutes.
Well, you know what? This is one of those shoes that reminds me kind of like of a Brooks shoe. Like, I feel like Brooks makes a good shoe. I feel like ASICS has these good basics that...
ASICS Basics.
ASICS Basics, and they'll probably sell more of these than the shoes I really like from them.
Yeah, like this is gonna sell more than the Gel Nimbus Light, you know, which is a way better shoe.
It's got the foam, it's got the rubber on the outsole.
I mean, like it has a flight foam midsole. I think it's full length. The last version I don't believe was a full length flight foam midsole, but it's not like it's flight foam blast. It's flight foam, you know, it is what it is. You got the gel in the heel, of course, because it's the GEL-Cumulus. Gotta have that gel. Yeah. And then you got rubber on the outsole.
I like how they groove the rubber. Is it flexible underfoot?
Yeah, it's not bad. Like, this is what I guess literally.
Do you feel, I wonder, like when you're on the team of the designers and they're like, all right, you guys are on all our new speed shoes, you're on the Noosa, you over there, you get...
That guy's name's Gary.
Yeah,
Gary, you keep doing the gel thing. Put the outsole design together. And it apparently has some sort of like space 3D construction in the heel. I don't know what that means. Space isn't space 2D?
Space is multi-dimensional, Robbie.
It's like 4D.
I don't even know. No one knows. Like there's only been like 20 of us up there, maybe 100.
You mean on the set at
On the set, yeah. They've only launched like 20 people out there. Like I want to know, is it really hot in the sunlight out there? Because there's no atmosphere to protect you from the sunlight. Like, is it blazing hot?
It's not. I'm not even gonna get into this because we're gonna make fun.
Because there's no air up there, you can't heat up the air. So I'm wondering.
But that's what you have to wear the spacesuits to protect you from the sun. But it's also very cold up there.
That's so weird.
Is that true? NASA.
I don't know. We might have to cut that entire science lesson out.
Back to the shoe. How's the ride on this? Pretty normal. Actually, I don't love the ride on this. It's kind of firmer in the forefoot, which if you're a heel striker, it's fine because you have that gel and everything. But if you're more of a midfoot to forefoot striker, it's just kind of, it's like firm EVA.
You know, a lot of times we compare shoes to like getting a better taste for something. So like when you're a kid, a McDonald's hamburger is pretty rad.
And when you're an adult.
And then maybe you graduate up to a Whopper and you're like, hey, onions on a burger ain't that bad.
Flame broil, baby.
Right. And then finally you get to that point where you're at a restaurant and you're like, oh wow, Burgers can be really delicious and cooked well. I feel like the same things with running shoe. And you start off with an easy to digest, easy, like blandish shoe. And then you find out what your tastes are. And maybe you add some caramelized onions. Maybe you throw on some sauteed mushrooms.
A little blue cheese on there too.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
Some
my
bacon.
thing.
Who knows?
Okay.
You can have a great experience in a shoe like this. If you're a runner that just wants to do a few miles a week, maybe you're doing 20 miles a week.
For sure.
And you go to the gym, you don't want to spend your whole paycheck on running shoes.
Yeah, and at $120, it's fairly reasonable. Comes in at the same price point as other shoes like the Nike Pegasus. So.
And the good news is it's going to feel as good when you put it on as when you're done with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a comfortable walking shoe. Like, it's a comfortable shoe. So, you know, I don't want to give negative points against it. It is what it is. I don't love it when we have a lot of other options out there. Yeah. So now for a couple more specs, for the weight on this, let's get in here. Ounces, I mean, my 7.5 is a 9.3 ounces.
That probably puts a normal size,
it's like 9.9.
Yeah, almost 10 ounces.
And that's
which is like, again, not great, not bad.
Around the 300, or mine is 260 grams, so maybe standard size around 300.
So Rob, what's the stack height and the drop?
All right, stack height on this for the men is 23 millimeters in the heel and 13 in the forefoot, so that's a 10 millimeter drop. And for the women, just slightly less at 22.12. So the drop on this is the same for the men's and women's, which in a lot of ASICS shoes actually a little bit higher
for the women.
Women's, for the Achilles.
Yeah.
But anyways, so
a little less pressure on the Achilles.
In this one, it's an equalizer. We are all the same.
Who is this shoe good for?
This is good for someone who's just getting into running, maybe doesn't want to drop a ton of coin on a shoe without knowing what they want. And it's a good entry just into running.
I was going to say entry level.
Entry level.
Now, what shoes would you compare this to? Because we've had some shoes from other brands that are around the same.
Yeah, I mean, like the Saucony Ride. The Nike Pegasus at that price point, totally different shoe.
Yeah, I would say both the Ride and the Pegasus I would give a little bit higher marks to than
yeah,
and I haven't even worn this one, but just from Robbie's
I would say maybe
description.
Maybe like the Brooks Ghost or something like that, the Launch.
All right.
Brooks Launch, that would fit in there. Now, I do think if you're going for an ASICS shoe and starting out and you have a little bit extra money, maybe go for the Gel Nimbus. I think there's a little more to it. It's more comfortable and nicer ride. It's a little bit heavier.
What about the Evo Ride?
The Evo Ride could also work. Especially if you want more of that rocker feel and smooth rolling action, you go for that one.
I mean, the Evo Ride is the cousin to the Evo Ride, which is the Noosa. So if you want to get wild, get some color on you, I would go with this over that. They're not that far apart in price.
I think they're almost
this is
the
$130,
same.
I think. I think the Evo Ride that's not all splash is around $120. Anyway, so that's Robbie's review. Any opinion I had on the shoe, you can just disregard because I didn't wear it. It was mostly Robbie. I'm just here for color.
If you haven't yet, check out our Asics Roundup where we break down all the ASICS shoes. So from this to the Gel Nimbus to the Gel Nimbus Lite, all the shoes.
Yeah, and we kind of show you what our preference is there.
Yeah, so that'll give you a more well-rounded view of the ASICS universe. Check it out.
Yeah. As always, we're gonna say, do us a favor, like this video, subscribe to us on YouTube, check us out on Instagram, join our Facebook group. What about our podcast?
Yeah, check out our podcast. Always some great guests on there. We've interviewed some ASICS athletes and athletes from pretty much every other company.
Yeah. Join us on our Strava group too, and that's about it. Boom, I think we're done here.
Yeah. Say hi to your mom.
Hi, Mom. I'll give you a public service announcement. Not every shoe is a killer. We can't help that. But what we can do is tell you that if you like smooth jazz, maybe some Kenny Loggins, and you're like, hey, I don't need to get wild. I don't need any rap music in my life, no hip hop. This might be the shoe for you.